everyone, good morning. This report is about lexical relations. It is the study of how lexicon is managed and how lexical meanings of lexical items are related to each other. In lexical relations, not only can words be treated as containers or as fulfilling roles, they can also have relationships. In everyday talk, we frequently give the meanings of words in terms of the relationships. So, example, you were asked to give the meanings of the word tulips. You might reply, "Oh, tulips. It's a kind of flower," or word shallow. So, of course, you might reply as shallow. It's the opposite of deep. So, by doing this, guys, you are characterizing the meaning of a word, not in terms of its component features, but in terms of its relationship to other words. So, there are several types of lexical relations, such as synonyms, antonyms, hyponymy, prototypes, hom- homography, homonymy, metonymy, and collocation. Synonym is a two or more forms with very closely related meanings which are often, but not always, intersubstitutable in sentences. In short, a word that means exactly or nearly the same as another word. For example, beautiful, gorgeous, smart, intelligent, effect, result, admit, confess. But guys, we should also know that the idea of sameness of meaning used in discussing synonymy is not necessarily total sameness. Okay, so there are many occasions when one word is appropriate in a sentence, but its synonym would be odd, like this example. Kathy had only one answer correct on the test. So if we replace the word answer with its near synonym reply, would very sound odd, right? So we should not know. So the next sentence, the next example, synonymous forms may also differ in terms of formality. Like this example, my father purchased a large automobile. It seems much more serious than the following casual version with four synonymous replacement. My dad bought a car. Okay, for the next lexical relations is antonyms. It is a word with meaning that is opposite to the meaning of another word. Example, quick, slow, big, small, long, short, rich, poor, happy, sad, hot, cold, old, young, male, female, true, false. And actually, guys, synonyms are usually divided into two main types, and gradable and non-gradable. For gradable antonyms, they can be used in comparative construction, such as the pair hot and cold. They can be used in comparative constructions like hotter than and colder than. In non-gradable, I mean the negative of one member of the gradable pair does not necessarily imply the other. For example, old, young. My sister is not old. It does not mean that she's young. And for the other example of this is the hot and cold. My milk is not hot, but it does not mean that it's cold. For the non-gradable antonyms, it also called as complementary pairs. Comparative construction are not normally used, like deadier or more dead. It sounds strange, right? So, the negative of one member does not imply the other. For example, the person is not dead. Does indeed mean that the person is alive. It's like the reversives. Tie and tie, raise, lower, lengthen, shorten, pack and pack, dress and dress, enter, exit. The word tie and tie, the word untie doesn't mean not tie. It actually means do the reverse of tie. Such pairs are called reversives. For the next one, hyponymy is when the meaning of one word is included in the meaning of another. The relationship is described as hyponymy. So, in some typical example pairs are rose, flower, carrot, vegetable, dog, animal, poodle, dog. Guys, this poodle dog, I changed it into apple fruit, but dog, poodle dog is also one of the examples of hyponymy. So, the concept of inclusion involved here is the idea that if any object is a rose, then it is necessarily a flower. So the meaning of a flower is included in the meaning of rose, or rose is a co-hyponyms of the flower. So also guys, it is worth emphasizing that it is not only words for things that are hyponyms, terms for actions as well, such as cut, punch, shoot, and stab are all the co-hyponyms of the superordinate term endure. Okay, let's go to the next slide. From this diagram, we can say that horse is a hyponym of animal, or ant is a hyponym of insect. We can also say that the two or more terms which share the same superordinate term are co-hyponyms. So horse, dog, and snake are co-hyponyms. Same here snake are the cohyponyms, and their superordinate is animal. In here, vegetable, flower, tree is a cohyponyms, and their superordinate is plant. Same as the creature and plant, they are a cohyponyms, and the superordinate of these two is living things. The relation of hyponymy captures the idea of is a kind of. So as when you give the meaning of a word by saying asp is a kind of snake. It is often the case that the only thing some people know about the meaning of a word in their language is that it is a hyponym of another term. That is, you may know nothing more about the meaning of asp other than it is kind of a snake. Okay, let's go to this, and for the next slide is prototype. Prototype. Well, the birds, canary, cormorant, duck, flamingo, parrot, pelican, and robin are all equally cohyponyms of the superordinate bird. They are not all considered to be equally good example of the category bird because the concept of a prototype help explain the meaning of certain words like bird, not in terms of component features like it has feathers, has wings, but in terms of resemblance to the clearest example. The native speakers of English might wonder if ostrich or penguin should be hyponyms of bird, but have no trouble deciding about sparrow or pigeon. The last two are much closer to the prototype. The next is homophony. Words that are pronounced identically although they have different spellings and meanings. For short, words that sound alike. For example, addition, edition. Addition for math, edition of a book. Two, two, two. I want to go, I like it too. 1 plus 1 is 2. Capitol building. Capitol building, state, capital. Capital, capital. Or flower, flower. Pick a flower. Pick a flower. Bake with flour. For the next is homonymy, words that share the same spelling and the same pronunciation but have different meanings. In short, for multiple meaning words. The example of these are spruce, the spruce tree, or to spruce up. Suit yourself, wear a suit. Weigh on the scale, scale the wall. The price is fair, go to the fair. So, they all have the same spelling and the same pronunciation, but their meanings is different. The next is homography. Words that are spelled the same but have different meanings and different pronunciations. So like this example, desert, abandon, or desert area of land. Bass, fish, bass, instrument. by close to shocked. Bow to bend down and pull a ribbon. For the next slide is polysemy. It can be defined as one form, written or spoken, having multiple meanings which are all related by extension. The example of this is word head. We could use head as on top of a glass of beer, or department, a leader of the department, the upper part of human body, or to move in the direction, like example, let's head there to the park. So the distinction between homonymy and polysemy is not always clear-cut. However, one indication of the distinction can be found in the typical dictionary entry for words. If a word has multiple meanings, the polysemy, then there will be a single entry with a numbered list of the different meanings of word. So if two words are related as homonyms, they will typically have two separate entries. You could check in your dictionary and probably find that the different meanings of words like head, get, run, face, and foot are treated as examples of polysemy, whereas male, bang, soul, and mole are created examples of homonymy. For the next slide is metonymy. This relationship is essentially based on a close connection in everyday experience. For example of this is the container-content relation, the can, juice, or a whole part relation, car, wheels, or a representative symbol relation, king, crown. You use metonymy when you talk about filling up the car, having a roof over your head, answering the door, giving someone a hand, or needing some wheels. For example, you see a mail delivery company called Spokes. You know via metonymy how they are making those deliveries. So, buy bicycle or a car, right? So the next one is collocation. Those words which tend to occur with other words. One other distinct aspect of our knowledge of words has nothing to do with any factors considered so far. So we know which words tend to occur with other words. If you ask 1,000 people what they think of when you say hammer, more than half will say nail. So if you say salt, they'll mostly say pepper, needle, and bread, butter, and for bread. So one way we seem to organize our knowledge of words in terms of collocation or frequently occurring together. It may be that part of knowing a language is knowing not only the words mean, but what their typical collocations are. Thus, part of your knowledge of fresh is as it occurs in the phrase fresh air. Or like these examples here again, like this butter and bread, or like this needle and thread, salt and pepper, or enough, as in enough already. Okay, that's all everyone. Thank. By the way, this is my references.
Thank you. I hope you have learned something. Thank you so much for watching, guys.